Alright, so I just recorded this on TikTok to try to make a video, and it fucking dumped it. I'm going to do it again. So this is an issue that I've been trying to do videos about, and I don't know how to do it, when I should do it. But I think at this point I'm already fucked, and I'm not going to ever see my money out of this guy, so it doesn't really fucking matter. I was really trying to avoid tipping him off to selling his car, but they're not going to give me the lien anyway. And he's not going to pay me, and the state's not really going to do anything about it because the system sucks and they don't fucking care about you. And Louisville, the city government, is one of the most corrupt city governments in the nation, from what I hear. Anyway, so this guy stole $1,200 worth of work out of my driveway, and the reason he thought he could do so is because he called the police on me, thinking that he could pay me with a credit card if because I took his credit card for a down payment. What happens, I replaced the transmission in his Acura, and I took a down payment for the transmission itself on his credit card. It took 7 days for that payment to process. In the meantime, I'm getting angry just thinking about it because I already recorded this and I don't fucking like telling the story over and over. So in the meantime, in that 7 days, I'm working on other stuff because I'm not taking your car apart if I don't have your money and your funds aren't proven to be okay. So I'm waiting. I wait 7 days for that payment to process. I'm doing other jobs. Payment comes in. I order his transmission. I finish the jobs I'm doing. His transmission shows up. It's wrong, or it's broken. It looks like it's rolled around in the bed of the truck and all the sensors are smashed and the cooler is bent, or the solenoid pack was broken. So they sent me another one. It took 2 more days. In that meantime, I still wasn't working on that thing because I still had other things I was finishing up. And when his transmission showed up, I pulled his car in, pulled the transmission. It took me a week to do, which he already knew it was going to take me a week, and that's what I told him. At the end of that week, that's after 7 days, and then 2 more to 3 more extra days of waiting on a second transmission. That's 10 days total. I started working on it in the 7 days. So that's 17 total days. So he's all upset, and he tells me he can't wait to get rid of me and all this shit, and he starts getting really rude with me towards the end of it, acting like it's my fault that it's taken 17 days and that his car has 200,000 miles on it, and anything else that needs to be replaced, such as motor mounts, axles, axle seals, any of that shit. He was getting upset. He didn't want to hear about it. He's just ready to buy a new car, and he kept telling me, I can't wait to get rid of you so I can go buy a new car and not have to worry about this shit. And I'm like, you're more than welcome to do whatever the fuck you want, but I'm trying to save you money in the long run. You don't see that. And I did a really good job on the car. But here's the thing, is when somebody starts getting rude with you, if you're working in a restaurant, you can kick them the fuck out. If you're working on a car, you have 2 choices. One, have them tow it the fuck out and let them sue you for whatever the fuck the next shop tells them that you did wrong, and then you fight that. Or 2, you just finish the job to the best of your ability and record everything, because you know they're going to fucking be a hassle later, and no matter what you did, something that you did is going to be wrong. So you have to opt for 2. You have to do a really good job, even though this person's being extremely rude and nasty to you. So I finished the job, and I said, brother, you're going to have to pay me cash. I'm not taking your credit card. To where he says, I'm going to come pick up my car regardless. So he came over with intent to take the vehicle without paying me. And he shows up, and I said, you can't take it without paying me cash. He gets upset, calls the cops on me. Cops show up, tell him it's a civil situation, tell me it's civil, because nobody's done anything illegal yet. And we're assuming that he's called the cops because we're thinking that I did something illegal by holding his vehicle and not letting him have it, or not taking his credit card, when in fact nothing illegal had been done until the officer looks at him and says what he's going to say in this video about, you can take the car, it's only a civil matter. Well, unfortunately for him, it's theft of services over $1,000, and that means it's a Class D felony. At first, when I tried to contact the police to get them to do something about it, they said to me, we told you guys it was a civil matter, we're not getting involved. So I called back and I said, look, this isn't a civil matter. He stole over $1,000 worth of goods and services from a business. He came onto private property to do it. So it's criminal trespass, and it's a Class D felony. So then he calls me back, a detective calls me back, and he says he's going to file a criminal complaint because it is illegal. It wasn't illegal up until he took the vehicle. All right, well, this is 3-4 weeks ago. Nothing's been done. First thing you're supposed to be able to do as a mechanic when somebody takes a vehicle that you've worked on and not paid you for it, is you should be able to go down to the county clerk under KRS 376.270, file a mechanic's lien on a document called a TC 96-187. That document's called a title lien statement. That document is used primarily by car lots nowadays, so they can put liens on titles and not have their name on the title of a car that they are selling for profit while somebody else is driving it around in their name. They want to be able to release the title, or at least let them transfer the title in their name, so that there's no liability for the car lot in case something happens to the vehicle, kill somebody, property damage, so on and so forth. So instead, they take the mechanic's lien title lien statement, which is not necessarily meant for selling vehicles, because that's a totally different document, and they use it. Mechanic's liens is the same way. But what I can do is all I have to do, according to the KRS 376.270, is take a notarized statement of the work, a bill for the work, which is a signed contract. I have a signed contract on text message that qualifies in the state of Kentucky right now. So I have all the qualifications to file for the lien. You should be able to go get that document, go straight into the county clerk, fill it out, give it to the county clerk, and they file it, so you put a lien on that title. So if that person ever goes to move that car, they have to settle that lien before they can move that title. And it's supposed to be very easy to do, and the reason it is easy to do is because you notarize your name to that TLS, and if it is false, then you're falsifying a federal document, or at least a state government document, which is considered a federal offense. Anything to do with car titles is a federal offense. So the clerk is putting up a roadblock and not allowing me to file this lien. So I'm going to let you guys watch these videos. I'm going to put a clip in here, but the rest of the saga you're going to have to go check out on my YouTube channel, which is at Dirtbag Mechanic. And you're going to see, and I want y'all to go ahead and give me your interpretation of what you see in this law, 376.270. Yeah, just take a look.
The light?
Yes, I was supposed to get.
Okay,
yeah.
So good news is we can do a lien. The two things we need from you is the vehicle needs to be in your possession. And a signed contract between the two.
Okay, so a signed contract would be a text message, can constitute as a signed contract.
But is the vehicle in your possession?
So according to the KRS, it does not have to be in your possession. The KRS 376.270, the vehicle, you do not lose the lien when the vehicle leaves your property. And I thought that was on that paperwork too.
But I mean, that's fine, man. Here's the deal, man.
That's the KRS they handed me. And so
This is what we have. Okay, we have a system called CAVIS, right? CAVIS does all of our checks and balances. So if we are renewing someone's stuff, right, we put it into CAVIS, and CAVIS says yes or no, right? So when we file a lien, we have to send it to the state, and then the state accepts it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And we have what's called rejected liens. If they reject the lien, they send it back, and we can't do anything. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you Toya's information right here.
Okay.
Because she is the one that's going to tell us yes or no to a lien. And that's who you have to talk to.
Well, I think at that point, so from my understanding, get me to me if I'm wrong, according to the public document information available on that KRS statute, I can pick one up myself.
Okay.
Which they told me I can't, and I can. So I can also fill that out with all of the required documents that come with that according to the statute, and then I file it, and then at that point, like you said, it either gets turned away or it doesn't. So, but if it stops at the front desk, I'm not allowed to file, and that's where we have a very kind of a big problem.
Do you know how the titles work?
Somewhat.
The titles are held at the state.
Yeah.
By the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
Okay.
Right? The county clerk takes and does the work for KYTC. And then KYTC accepts it, and they're the one that holds all the information.
Gotcha.
Right? So we can take in your information
and
send it to Toya, and she's going to send us a denial. So if you'd like, I can submit this to Toya, and she's going to deny us.
It would need to be filed the proper way. If it's filed the proper way and it gets denied, there we go.